so I didn't know what Sunni or Shia was. And then first they tricked me. So I'm watching the videos, I'm like, oh, it's just about the Bayah. And then the further I looked more into it, like this year, I'm like, oh, this is this is wacky. This is completely...
Alhamdulillah, we as Muslims are one body. We are upon the Quran and what the Prophet ﷺ left us upon. This is the Sahih Ahadith. This is the Islam. This is why we call Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Because the Prophet ﷺ told us, Alaykum bis sunnati, upon you is my sunnah, and the sunnah of Khulafa al-Rashideen. This is where we got the sunnah. And the Prophet ﷺ told us, Alaykum bil Jama'ah, like you should be a Jama'ah. So Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, we are upon the sunnah and sticking together. Jama'ah is unity, right? Shi'i means sect. So this is a sect that broke out. Like Ahmadiyya, Qadiani, Ismailiyya, Ghakhaniya, those are synonymous names there. Then you have like NOI, you have all these little sects that break out. But the Muslim body, the vast majority, maybe like 80, 90, 70, whatever percent, is Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. This is the Muslims, right? And we don't, it's not like where there's like a political issue anymore. It used to be that this was more political, but now they have changed their belief. Like you've read the first surah Al-Fatiha, right? Al-Fatiha tells us, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينَ. Only Allah do we worship exclusively. إِيَّاكَ, nobody else, only Allah do we worship. And only Allah do we ask the divine help. Nasta'een, and ask help, right? So when you have a problem as a Muslim, we do what the Prophet ﷺ did, what Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, all of them did, we ask Allah. But the Shi'i, you will see them, they will say, Ya Ali. They will be asking, like, did Ali ask himself for help? Radiallahu anhu. We love all of them. They're haters, we're lovers. We love all the Sahaba, right? But that's not what Ali radiallahu anhu did. That's not what Hassan Hussein radiallahu anhuma did, whom we love. These guys have done what the Christians have done. They have over-exaggerated. And there are other sects too. There are the barelvi and other people of bid'ah.
I was kind of I had a question because what's the difference? Where deobandi? Like, aren't they like...
Deobandi is a madrasa in India, and those scholars and people who follow the teachings of that madrasa are called deobandi. There's another madrasa called in Braille, which is a place in India, and those who follow them are barelvi. Those are just madrasas. Like, we shouldn't divide the ummah on this. We are upon the kitab wa sunnah, Quran wa sunnah. So when you make sects, when you make your own aqidah like Maturidiyya, Ashariya, you are breaking away. But when you stick to the athar, to the narrations, to the Quran wa sunnah, you're uniting, right? So we say, don't talk about Deobandiyya and Barelviyya and Sufiyya and Qadiriyya and forget all that. We are Muslim. Allah didn't call us Deobandi or Barelvi or this or that, and we are Muslim, alhamdulillah. We follow the Quran and we should be united on that. Like if there's a discussion we have, we should follow the Quran. We follow the authentically established ahadith, the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, and we should be united on that. Like if me and you disagree, we should go to the Quran. If we don't find the mas'ala in the Quran, we should go to the ahadith. If we don't find it, we look at the best generations, which is the Sahaba. Rasulullah said the best generation is my generation, and then those who follow them, and then those who follow them. This is the best, the first three generations, right? So we look at all of the Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Malik, Imam Shafi, Imam Ahmad, Awza'i, Abdullah ibn Mubarak, great scholars, amazing people. Yani what they derive from the Quran and Sunnah, we follow that. But later you see a lot of division. And mostly, I mean, the ones we're talking about, these divisions happened during the time of the British when they ruled India. Because the British wanted to see the Muslims divided, right? Qadiani, The Qadiani have a clearly un-Islamic belief. And it's so obvious to any Muslim. Even look, you're new, but you understand. Because sometimes they will tell you, like I've been in discussions with them, and they will tell you, we don't believe that Ghulam Ahmad Qadian, the one who they're named after, that he was a messenger or reincarnation. We just believe he was a guy. But then when you go to their books, they have totally, it's a lie, because they will say that he is the Mahdi. Then sometimes they will say he is the reincarnation of the Prophet. I read it in their own books, right? So when you bring those to them, then you see them just flutter. And that's why in the vast majority of the Muslim world, everybody agrees that they're not Muslim, right? They have other strange beliefs, and they have a very strong support from the Senate in the US and other governments in England.
Like the recent France controversial in the background said that Islam was a problem or something. And they brought on the Muslim guys. I'm watching the video last night, but he was an Ahmadiyya. Oh my God, I don't know why.
They get a lot of support because they don't believe in jihad, they don't believe in proper hijab, all these kinds of stuff. So when they get a lot of support, they get to do things that regular Muslims are not, because people like a watered down version of Islam. So in prison, they used to give I used to give khutbah in a prison. We couldn't give a hardcover Quran. And it was very hard for us to get books in. But there's hardcover, their translation and mistranslation was there. So I was reading it from one of the prisoners, he had it, and it said Jesus didn't get taken up to Allah, right? They believe he went to Kashmir.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that, yes.
What the heck? Where in the Quran or Hadith or Sahaba, how did he get to Kashmir from Al-Quds? And they believe he lived there and died there, and they have a grave there. Like, historically, there's no evidence. In the Quran, there's no evidence. In the Hadith, there's no evidence. In Sahaba, there's no evidence. They just make up stuff, you know? And that's why, you know, we encourage any of those sects, if they want to sit and talk, we're open to it. We'll come and discuss it at their place. They can come to a ribat. We can meet in a dark alley, wherever they want, you know? I'm ready. But they don't want to sit down and discuss it. They just want to put their little videos and run.
I noticed, like, I guess it must have started like in the turn of the last century, but I noticed a lot of Shiites take Orientalist arguments.
Of course.
They'll say like, oh, the Hadith was just written under Abdul. I hate that.
So we had a debate with the Shia. The last part of it's on the channel. I'll send you a link to it, inshallah. So in it, when they find a Hadith that kind of agrees with what they've already made up their mind on, they'll accept it. And when they find a hadith that doesn't agree with their mindset, they'll reject it. And we say this is a partisan. We as Ahl Sunnah, we as the Muslims, we say if the Quran says something, whether we like it, don't understand it, whatever, if the Quran says it, we accept it. Because the words of Allah. If something is authentically established, and the rules of authentication are not for our belief set, rather it is something that we agree on, and then based on those Sahih Hadith, we build our belief. So we look at Jarh wa Ta'deel of the Rawi, there's 5 conditions that's agreed upon and so on. So when it's established, a Sahih Hadith, we accept it, no matter what. And then we build our belief on that. What they do is they already have their mindset made, now they'll pick and choose. Sometimes they'll take a fabricated hadith and be like, oh, look, you know. And sometimes they'll take a very established Sahih Hadith in Sahih Muslim, Sahih Bukhari, no doubt to the chain, the memory, the narrators, no problem. They'll be like, nope. Why? Because it doesn't agree with me. So that's not following the truth. That's just following your desires. Allah protect us.